Our next jewel is Maputo in Mozambique, just a short flight across the Mozambique Channel. Up until 1976, under the Portuguese, Maputo was known as Lorenzo Marx, who explored this area in 1544 and later settled here. I really don't know what to expect here. I remember that there was a brutal 10-year war of independence, followed by Marxist rule and 15 years of civil war. By 1992, the country was left devastated. Given the years of Marxism, I was expecting some Stalinist architecture. On the way to the hotel is the Heroes Square, dedicated to the heroes of the War of Independence. In a similar vein and vintage is the organization of Mozambican Women's Square. One thing for sure I wasn't expecting was our hotel. Built in 1922, it was billed as the best and most modern hotel in Africa. After the wars ended and it was safe again for investment, the hotel was renovated and new rooms added that are hidden below the pool level. Every room has a view of Maputo Bay. I think this will do just fine. We settle in and get ready for dinner. On our bed, we find capellanos, a general-purpose piece of cloth that is worn as a head covering or a sarong. The ladies opted to go local with brightly patterned headdresses. With cocktails, the entertainment is a troupe of dancers and drummers. In the morning, I'm going snorkeling while Sherry takes the cultural tour. We're headed across Maputo Bay to Inhaka Island. On the way, we pass fishermen hard at work. We land on a sandy beach. Looks like we're expected. The reef's not in the greatest shape, and the water's a little murky, but there are fish. The best part was a school of silver mooney. You can swim with them, and they will part as you swim through them. Lunch is at Luca's restaurant in the little town of Inhaka. The huge seafood lunch included shrimp, octopus, and calamari served with chips, and huge Mozambican prawns that were like little lobsters, all washed down with local beer, oddly named McMahon. After lunch, entertainment is a junior version of the dancers from last night. What they lack in finesse, they make up for with enthusiasm. Back to the beach after lunch, and we find that the tide has gone out, way out. Back crossing Maputo Bay, we pass more fishing boats. Sherry's visit to the city center begins at the Greek Orthodox Church of the Archangels Michael and Gabriel. After the end of the Greek Civil War in 1949, thousands of Greeks immigrated to Mozambique. This church was completed in 1960 to serve that Greek community. After independence in 1975, most of the Greek community left the country. The church was renovated and restored in the 1990s. Zimbabwean artist Helen Lineros painted many murals in the church. Saturday is wedding day in Maputo. The wedding ceremonies are held at the community center. Then the wedding parties go to the botanical gardens for photographs. The Central Railway Station was built between 1913 and 1916. currently serves as a terminus for lines linking Maputo to Swaziland, South Africa, and Zimbabwe. The station also has a museum displaying the history of railroads in Mozambique. Directly in front of the train station is this memorial to those who died in the First World War. Since we haven't eaten in over an hour, it's time for a snack. It's pastillo de nata, a popular Portuguese custard tart. Then it's on to the Central Market. There are all kinds of beautiful fruits and vegetables. Most are familiar, but some are not. These are soursop, sometimes called custard apple for their creamy texture. There are also lots of peppers and dried beans, Mozambican staples. And there are baskets to carry your purchases home in. Sherry couldn't resist taking a picture of these two friends. The next stop is Independence Square. It's dominated by a statue of Samora Machel, the first president of Mozambique. The Cathedral of Maputo also stands on Independence Square. The town of Lorenzo Marques developed around a Portuguese fortress built in 1787. Today, the Maputo fortress is home to artifacts of the Portuguese colonial period. Up until 1975, this statue of Joaquim Mozinho de Albuquerque stood where the statue of Samora Machel now stands in Independence Square. Mozinho was a Portuguese cavalry officer who in the 1890s led campaigns against the indigenous Gaza Empire north of Maputo. These bas-reliefs from the plinth of the statue depict his battlefield victories, including the capture of the last Gaza emperor. Because of Mozinho's call for more systematic exploitation of African labor, in modern times, he's become a symbol of all things bad during colonial times. Not far from the fortress is the Iron House, designed by Gustave Eiffel for the Portuguese governor of Mozambique in the late 19th century. Its metal-plated exterior proved unsuitable for the tropical conditions. Lunch is at the Fernando Leite Couto Foundation, a cultural center promoting arts, culture, and literature of Mozambique. Now it's time for a little shopping at the craft market. Sherry found some of these batiks to her liking. Dinner tonight is at Zambi. We can't resist ordering more of that exceptional Mozambican seafood. In the morning, we're back at Maputo Airport. Maputo has been a pleasant surprise, a clean, modern city with friendly people who are optimistic about their future and the future of their country.